Assalamu alaikum. This is Salman here in East Africa, Kenya. I am now out for my morning exercise, my morning run. For those who are watching my video for the first time, maybe you're watching my content for the first time. For several years, people used to know me as Samuel, but when I reverted to Islam, I chose the name Salman. So that's why I introduced myself as Salman. So let me introduce myself again officially. Assalamu alaikum. This is Salman from East Africa, Kenya. And this is part of Kenya known as Kiambu County. I am actually out right now for my morning exercise, my morning run. And before I start my run, I'd like to introduce myself better. I need you to know that for several years, I was born and raised as a Christian. My father was a Christian, my mother was a Christian, and for several years, I spent my life as a Christian, and not just an ordinary Christian. I was always in the pulpit serving, training, mentoring young people in different churches around the country. So from this side of Africa, Kenya is known to be dominantly a Christian nation. So in order for you to revert to Islam, you have to be extremely focused and extremely patient and extremely brave. So my journey started several years back. In a county known as Kakamega County. So I need you to know that 4 years after I was born, unfortunately, I lost my mom. I lost my mother. She lost her life in the same day with my baby sister. And they were both buried on the same day. They had to be transported from the capital city of Kenya in Nairobi to Kakamega County inside the same coffin, you can imagine. So that is exactly what my dad had to go through. I was 4 years old, my sister was 6 years old, and that was my journey. That's how I was introduced to planet Earth. So after that, my dad had to raise me by himself. You can just imagine. I was 4 years old, my sister was 6 years old, and my mom was gone. So for several years, my dad struggled to raise the two of us, me and my sis. So for several years, my dad struggled to raise the two of us, me and my sister. And it was not easy for him. But one thing I always appreciate about my dad is the way he mentored us. Yes, I was raised in Christian faith. Dad raised us, but my dad did his best. My father did his best. So I need you to know that growing up, I was taught the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. My dad was a strict dad. He wanted to give me a good future. He believed that one day I would become a leader. And true to his word, I was always reading the Bible. And I can tell you so many things, like I know the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. That was my dad from a very, very young age. So while growing up, I was always reading the Bible. I somehow got curious. I started asking my father questions about the Muslim faith, and I would ask him if he would allow me to attend madrasa with my friends, because we used to stay in South B in a small ghetto slum known as Fuatanyayo. My dad was strict, and anytime I talked about Islam, he would always say no. But for several years, he kept pushing me towards learning the Bible. And as a good father, he made sure that I was really, really good in terms of quoting Bible verses and telling Bible stories. And I became a very good storyteller from a very, very young age. I can tell you any story in the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, from Genesis to Malachi, from Matthew to Revelation, everything, because I mastered the Bible from a very young age. So as an adult, somehow I was now grown up. I was now mature enough to make a choice. And when I decided to pursue my own path, to go towards my own path, the first person I called immediately after my Shahada, it had to be after my Shahada, because I was afraid to call him before my Shahada, because I thought he would discourage me or disown me. So I went through my Shahada in Umoja Estate, in the capital city of Kenya, in Nairobi. And then immediately after my Shahada, the first person I called was my dad. And I told my dad, Dad, I have reverted to Islam. To my biggest shock, do you know what he told me? He said it in Luo. Kama no egima nyasaye oketo echunyi luwe. Kama no egima nyasaye oketo echunyi luwe. In Luo language, that means if that is what God, the Creator, has put in your heart, follow it. I was in tears because this was someone who had always said no to Islam since I was a kid. I had done everything that he wanted. I memorized the Bible, I mastered the Bible, and he would always say no to Islam. So, as an adult, I was moved to tears when he told me that it was okay for me to follow my path. You have to know that my dad is a leader in church back in the village. So I decided that it was a high time for me to follow my own path. And when my dad gave me the green light, and he told me that I had to make sure that I am even more focused in my new path. And that's how my journey in Islam started. So if you're watching this video for the first time, thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. This is Salman. This is Kiambu County. I am out for my morning run. I'm just starting the run right now, but I had to make sure that first I introduce myself officially before I start my morning exercise. So thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you want to find my YouTube channel, maybe you're watching this video through my TikTok, I need you to know that my YouTube is known as I am the East African REVERT. So my journey has just begun. Alhamdulillah. And I can also say, inshallah, I believe that the future is in the hands of the Creator. The future is in the hands of Allah. Let us start this journey together as we continue. I pray that every video that I post on this platform will be a blessing to anyone who watches it. So thank you for watching this video. See you in my next video.